Alright guys, so here's my video to try to explain to you what all I went through with court, okay? First step, you get issued your ticket, your civil infraction. It says right here to let you know what type of law you're going to be prosecuted by, okay? Civil. So, that's that. My information, the violations, my information, the violations, the price of the infraction, and basically what you can do here. What if you're either going to admit responsibility or not, or go to court. The officer's name who wrote the ticket. Okay, on the back, not on the back of this one, on the back of the white copy, which I have right ahead. On the back of the white copy that came with this, it tells you you can check whether you want to admit responsibility under these two different circumstances, or if you are not going to admit responsibility, then just to when you need to show up to court by. Alright, because there's going to be a financial violation if you don't. So, my township, or the township here, I should say, not mine, has said that I just disobeyed some ordinances that they have. So they issued me a ticket to fix it. This is another copy of it, came in the mail, explaining what the problems were, some junk items outside. They didn't like that I had my unlicensed boat trailer stored in the rear of my yard, and that the trailer was not on like an improved type of ground for it to be on. It wasn't like rocks or anything, it was just in the grass. Okay, and then they're citing the different ordinances or whatever I had violated according to them. Alright, moving on. This is another copy of that, and it's signed by the officer who wrote the ticket. So then I wrote a letter. This is after I had called and talked to the officer. I wrote a letter explaining, how I am, I know my neighbors. I don't know who would make a complaint like this. If there's any problems, they could have told me. I explained why the boat was in the backyard, and I didn't think it was being a nuisance back there. Yeah, that's just kind of like my answer. I told him if there's a natural person who has received damages because of my actions, I will comply on a resolution that both of us can agree upon. Thank you for your time. Okay? Trying to eliminate the civil out of this and put it back in more of a common law jurisdiction with just person on person, not a civil government coming after you. So they make a copy at the township building where I stated I am not going to pay, because you have to let them know whether you're going to pay or not. So I told them no. They stamped it, gave it back, and then now I get set up with court hearings. These are informal hearings. This is your notice to appear, name of the township, my information. This is one of the last ones, so it has the attorney on it. But you'll have your case number up here in the upper right. That's something that you're going to have to reference. And then judge's name, bar number, date issued, and when you're supposed to be there, okay? So, I had multiple hearings, and I explained that in the story above this video. So I'm going to skip over all the hearing summons. Okay. And just because they summon you to court doesn't mean that you lose your authority. And I'm going to explain that in a minute. Alright. Now during the end of one of the hearings, I had fixed some of the deficiencies they had said that were wrong with the property, that they said were making it look bad. The only thing I wasn't going to do was register my boat. So the magistrate had wrote this order saying that I am responsible, but I took care of the other actions. Judgment is all formal hearing. You may appeal a decision within 21 days. The judgment date. The judgment is based on admission of responsibility. May file request for withdrawal admission, blah, blah, blah. And then this one is, I had missed one of the hearings, so I had to pay a fee for that. And then I had 7 days to, comply with their order, or they were going to cure the defects and bring the property into full compliance with ordinances applicable to this matter at defendant's expense and risk. Okay, so they were just going to tow my stuff away if I didn't register it with the Secretary of State. Like, they wanted to take ownership of my boat trailer, and this is signed by the magistrate. Now, up to this point, there's been no plea, no jurisdiction proved. This is all assumptive. So when I received the order saying I had to pay, and that this is a default judgment, that I had requested motion to set aside the default, and then it got denied by the same magistrate that signed the orders earlier. So, according to him, I still had to appear, just because, even though he didn't know if I was even in his jurisdiction. So I paid everything, paid the bond. I put the whole case back into basically my standing to where I could further action on it. If I had not done this, I could not do any more legal actions, according to them. So, because I did that, I then put it back into the appeal side, and now I have all my documents from my appeal. So, when you receive your ticket at the beginning, this guy, this is a notice saying, we think you did this. And it's more of like a question. So you're supposed to answer to this allegation. So here's your answer. You'll find these documents from whichever website your the state government has. So they'll have a whole list of different ones for civil law or criminal or all that. You just have to look through it and figure out what you need to do. If you get a civil complaint with a ticket, you need to answer it. So this is the main defendant's page. So case number. On top of these court documents, it's going to say what needs to go where. The original needs to go to the court. One copy to the plaintiff, which is the prosecutor. The second copy will be me, the defendant. Third copy, proof of service. So I don't even know where I sent that one to. Make all the copies of everything once you get them filled out, and then you have to mail them off to which parties need what. All right. When you mail them off, you need to send them certified mail with receipt. That way they have to sign for it saying that they received it on what day. Okay, that's both to the prosecutor and the attorney. The court, you just take the papers right there and the clerk will file them into the case. So you need to say on the answer why you feel that this complaint is not valid for you. Told them that there was no valid contract between me and the city, state government. So let them know. I'm not liable for alleged damages because of their negligence. So they neglected to even see if I was part of their jurisdiction. Okay? There's nothing in writing. Contract should not be forced because of improper conduct. It came up onto my property without even knowing if I was in their jurisdiction. Okay, it's not a meeting of the minds. And number 13, I threw in the other. There's no subjection to the township's authority. No personal jurisdiction. Sign and date. This will be probably the only document where you get your own signature line. The other ones, you have to create your own. Now, appearance. This is now who you are in court. If you don't fill this out, they're going to prosecute you as just a subject to their rule. So, plaintiff is Husunyu. That's you. I appear on behalf of myself. Normally, this is what an attorney would have to fill out so that the court knows who else is going to be there, what their names are, and so on. But if I don't fill out a court document saying who I am and what I'm coming with, then they're going to prosecute me very harshly. So, the 3 things you need to do for appearance is you need to identify status, standing, and character. And your status is kind of like your title, what role you are in society. Your standing is why are you here? Are you here on your own free will? Or are you here because you were brought here, not in regards to your will, or what? And then your character is more about moral, what describes you as a person, how you make decisions. So let them know here that I am here in physical form, okay, and I'm not representing myself. I'm not coming in and pretending to be me. I am presenting myself. I only have to come here once. I don't have to come twice. All right? I'm here in physical form as Emperor. This was my title. The reason why I said that's not really to be funny, but it is to show that I am a higher title than anybody else in the court. And that also my name in German is the name of a German emperor. So by definition, my name is an emperor. So here in physical form, as Emperor, from my last name, family, in the body, and in spirit, in propria personam. This is huge, because a lot of courts will try to trip you up and say, oh, you're coming pro se, which is propria, I forget what the other one is, secure, whatever. But it's basically saying you're on the same side as the prosecutor. You don't want that. So you're propria personam, you're yourself. You are for yourself. And you're here by special appearance. You're here granting them your appearance on your own free will, not by your subjecting to their authority. Okay, and then throw in whatever religion you claim, and let them know that you got morality and you have integrity and honor. I told them since I'm a soldier, I do, and I'm not surrendering authority to anyone other than my God, and I will render customs and courtesies of the court by being professional and polite to facilitate the court to render decisions. Okay? So I can approach the bench, I can cross the bar, I can stand when they say all rise, I can say Your Honor, in responses. It's all just customs and courtesies. You don't need to go against any of that to still keep your authority. So sign it, because your signature is the most important thing on any of the documents. And then personal information. That thing will get you over all the not scarecrow, the conspiracies about the corporate person and all that whole thing. This one form will just destroy all that, and you'll have all your full authority. All right. Now, in here, I've already claimed that they don't have jurisdiction on me. I declared who I was, and now I am telling them what to do, because I've already told them you don't have jurisdiction. This is who I am. So this is an order. I'm ordering the court. I'm not ordering the prosecutor or the judge. I'm ordering the court, the business, the infrastructure, the corporation, what to do. Okay, I told them that they're not allowed to trespass on my property anymore. I ordered the court granted. I didn't check this, probably should have. And then above the judge's line, I created my own signature line, defendant, and signed it. And you may think, well, that's just stupid. That's never going to work, right? Well, I'm going to show you. In this one, I had ordered to release funds. They took money from me unlawfully, and now I need to get it back. So now it is ordered that the clerk of the court pay me back $185 they took from me. And then I created my own signature line, signed it. Now I'm ordering the case to be dismissed. Okay. Order to dismiss with prejudice. Why with? Because if you say without, then they can retry you again under these same circumstances. So I try with because I don't want this to happen again. And because I ordered the court to do this, if they throw me back in court again because of this one court form, I can get them for harassment now. I tried to remedy this, and they went another route. So the conditions where the funds are supposed to be requested by a defendant been recovered to him, and the order of no further encroachment on my property. This order resolves the last pending claim and closes the case. Again, my signature line, I sign it. I give it my authority because I am the highest authority in that courtroom. When they don't have personal jurisdiction and they take you into their court, you take it over. So, all that got submitted into the court, okay? All these court docs that I filled out, I mailed to each party and submitted to the court itself, and I have my own spare copies to take in court with me. When you have your paperwork right, you don't even have to show up, apparently. Now, this is the prosecutor and the judge are putting in their own order. This is while I was gone. I wasn't even there, but they nulled the prosecution. Nulled prosecuting. Okay, they nulled the prosecution. They turned it into we're going to close the case out on our terms, and they're trying to retake it back, the authority. They didn't want me showing up into court and doing all this. So, the crime was I had an unregistered boat trailer. So, the motion was to annul the prosecution. The prosecutor signed, the judge signed, granted, case is dismissed without prejudice. So guess what? They could try me again, but because I have that other document that said it was supposed to be with, it's now going to be harassment if they take me back. The bond that I had to pay is canceled and shall be returned after costs are deducted. Okay, signed by the judge. So, this is all the transactions of all the court docs, cases of what happened, and then, and that's it. So, take over the court, fill out your paperwork right, and everything should go your way.